All right, Jack, Chad, the Dallas boys are back. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Doing
Doing
good
good.
for having us.
Yeah. For those of you that can't see, the drip that Chad Dallas has right now is just on another level. He's got a denim button down, and it's looking mighty fine. Two buttons down before it actually starts, showing some stuff. But anyhow, no sleeves, backwards hat, amazing, immaculate stash. He's got a little neck curtain forming in the back. He's looking good.
Daniel, let me ask you real quick. Esmeralda came on here with her Louis Vuitton sneakers. Like, who's got more drip, man? I don't know.
Oh, it's
I
cheese.
mean, it's to me, Louis shoes that you never wear
Yeah.
does not like
Weird
there's-
flex.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: did Esmeralda have that stash? I don't think she did.
God, I'd hope not.
Did she have
No.
bigger arms than cheese? Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh,
Hey.
Fine with me.
But let's not forget about Jack. Jack, before the interview started, he said, I do have sleeves on my shirt tonight. And he did mention that he is now a dad, and that's one of the things that you got to do. You got to start acting like a dad and dressing like a dad. You're a pair of cargo shorts and Birkenstocks with socks away from flipping burgers
Yeah.
on a Saturday, bro.
Some sandals, maybe.
Well, hey, whatever fits, whatever fits, a nice little polo tucked in. I mean, I think you could rock that for sure.
What kind of shoes do you wear? Though, like you got New Balances on?
All white?
No, I'm not rocking the New Balances. I kind of stick to my Converse. That's about what I'm rocking everywhere I go.
So you haven't given up
Converse or some
completely
Vans.
like the rest of us. It's okay. It's fine.
you can't even categorize us the same, Randy, because you actually dress business like, and I dress like Adam Sandler every day. So, like,
It's true.
So, Jack, the last time we talked, obviously, you now have become a father. Beautiful baby girl, am I correct?
That's right. Yep. Turned
How
a
old?
year.
How old?
She's a year old. She turned a year old a month ago yesterday.
Is she running and walking?
Oh my God, man. She's out of control.
It's over with, man. Your life
Yeah,
is
she's
over.
out of control.
But man, what is the biggest thing so far that you've unexpectedly had to learn between what you thought being a dad was and this first year into it?
Well, I mean, probably like the biggest thing was like everybody tells you like how much they're gonna mean to you and like how quick like your world changes. And that part is like 100% true. Like somebody can pop into your life out of nowhere and they completely take over your life. So I'd say the biggest thing that, I've realized about being a dad is just the amount of time that you get to spend with them is really awesome. That's what I'd say is the biggest part.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being needs a shit ton of work and 10 being is on point,
Mhm.
where does Chad rank as far as being an uncle?
Oh, that is a no-brainer. Cheese is a 9.6 rated uncle.
still work to do.
9.6 rated uncle.
He's got that brother in him. He just couldn't give you that 10.
No, I can't get the
Couldn't
10.
do it.
We
I don't
got to always find something to work
I
on.
don't think diapers. That's my flaw.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That's
If-
the point four.
If he changed diapers, he may go up to like an 11 maybe.
Well, you said she's running now. I mean, you think she could beat Cheese in a foot race?
Not yet, but she's really close. She can almost beat me in a race. At least if we run long distance, she can definitely.
You
beat me.
pitchers ain't got far to run. Y'all ain't worried.
No,
about
no.
Beating us soon.
So, Cheese, let me go to you for a second. Uncle Cheese now. Talk to me about Canada, man. What's it like? What do you love about it? What do you not love about it?
It was good. I was there for about 6 months, I think. And I liked it. Now at the beginning, it was way too cold. A little snow flurry here and there in the games. It rained every day. Had a lot of rainouts, which in that long of a season doesn't always hurt the players' feelings. But you just got tired of it. But it was beautiful. The McDonald's is better than American McDonald's. It feels cleaner, feels fresher. which now sometimes I like the the greasy McDonald's back in America. I missed it, but no, it was good, and it was cool to see that part. Obviously, I've never been to Canada before, so it was cool to see that. And then Oregon and Washington had never been that far north or west, so that was really cool as well.
Definitely. That's some of my favorite parts of the country for sure. So talk to us specifically. Was there a culture shock, not just from America to Canada, but talk specifically from Knoxville to Vancouver? What was that big shock?
Mm.
Or
Well,
was there?
A little bit. We stayed on the University of British Columbia's campus. So it's almost like the perfect question since it's campus to campus. But what I've told a couple people is that some things that you would see on that campus is almost like that it was a commercial, like they were filming for a commercial about the school. And when I say that, there was many times where I would see people they had this 100-yard turf field in the middle of campus just to do whatever you wanted. And you would see a group of 3 or 4 people standing probably 5 to 10 feet away from each other, not far at all, tossing a Frisbee. And that was just things that you only see in commercials or movies. And it would throw me off when I'd walk past them, like, bro, get some range or something, like it was, I don't know. They're very active up there, and like a ton of rollerblading, ton of biking. And
So they actually had the quad that you see in movies where everybody's just like get along doing their thing.
Yeah. All the picnics all around. And then, like Knoxville, and I would assume just about every other campus around America, you're hopping in an Uber. You're not biking, you're hopping in an Uber.
I don't even want to, man. That really confirms that I'll probably never go to Canada. I got to get an Uber.
He lost me at the cold, man. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a question for you, man. We've had some Canadian guests on, and they swear by this meat by the scoop, man. Talk to me about that. You said you go to McDonald's. They got meat by the scoop at Mickey D's?
I didn't have that, but I will give a shout out for all of my Canadian friends and all the Canadian friends of y'all's and Jack's. Poutine, that's going to be in the Dallas household forever from here on out. It is. I don't know if y'all don't know what that is, it's like fries with gravy, cheese curds. Oh my God!
Hold on.
I've
Which one brought it up though? Was it Grace or Nolan? Somebody brought that up and said that was a must.
It was her. It was a girl for sure.
It was Grace.
Yeah,
Okay.
agreed.
Man, big boys like me and JD over here, we can get into stuff like that. So it was
Me
it
too.
was good to get some of that.
Let me ask you, have you heard from anybody up there? Did they say y'all ever?
Oh no.
Did they really say a lot?
Bud, it kind of hockey terms. Everybody talks in hockey terms, hockey slang, I guess.
So did you have to get with Drew Gilbert to talk like them? Because I mean, this is Minnesota, Canada. What's the real difference?
I had a buddy who is from the same area as Drew, and he was with us for the first half of the season. So he kind of helped me out with some of the slang.
Do you remember when Liam said he wanted to learn Spanish? I just thought back about that. An Australian with speaking Spanish.
Yeah, and I haven't asked him that question, but I would put a lot of money on it that he does not. He's nowhere near fluent yet.
Hey, we talk about how you came on here with the drip and everything. Look, Randy will tell you, Daniel will tell you, we hooked our buddy Mike on the Mic podcast up. Liam comes on with you guys. He's in a stairwell. He's got a hat. He's kind of looking suspicious, right? He comes on this show, hair all gelled, man, fresh out the shower, clean, dressed up. And I'm like, damn, Liam, you do us like that.
I don't know what that is. It must have had a date or something. I don't know.
Caught him at the right time. But Jack, man, I want to talk to you about, I was reading the story and, I was paying attention to every guest that we've had on, all three of us guys were, every guest we've had on this show when it came to the draft. And, saw that you weren't selected, but obviously didn't take long for you to get signed. And in the article that I read, it talked about how you were never worried. And then furthermore, it talks about the story of how you found out. And I don't want to tell a story. I want you to tell a story. Talk about how you found out you got signed and what was going on that day and all that.
Yeah, so it was a pretty crazy day. after the draft Wednesday, kind of disappointed about not getting my name called, but I wasn't going to lose faith anytime soon. So we had a family vacation plan. So we went up to the river, and basically there was no service at the river. So I'm just up there. I'm trying to take my mind off it. I don't want to be any more upset than I already am. So I'm up at the river, and we're doing river things at the river. So we're having a good time. And about 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon, there's about like 20 people calling the only guy who has service there, and they're like, "Dude, you got to get Jack on the phone with somebody. The Phillies have been trying to call him for like an hour." So I rushed like 20 minutes up the hill in my fiance's dad's truck with him. We get up to the hill, get some service, finally get in contact with the guy, and he's like, "All right, well, I'll call you about an hour and a half." So I'm just sitting up at the hill basically for like an hour waiting on a phone call, and waited a little bit longer, and then finally got the call, and it was awesome. Unexplainable moment.
So like, you say unexplainable moment, you find out the Phillies want you, and then so obviously you make that drive back down the hill. I mean, how exciting though is that, because you're with your family. So like, no different than you would be on draft day. You get to go down there and tell them news. Just like talk about how that all, was and how great it felt.
It really was awesome. I can picture the moment like it was yesterday. My fiance is holding our daughter, and I'm trying to choke back tears. Just it's just a dream come true. Everybody wants to play professional baseball, and to get the opportunity, somebody taking a chance on me and giving me a shot. Just seeing family members, friends, all that. It was literally I can see it like it was yesterday.
So like, could you ever have imagined, I mean, you and your brother, man, you grow up, you're competitive, y'all are ball players, but like, could you have ever imagined, now that this has happened and you've seen what would happen with Chad the previous year and getting drafted, that you would both be professional baseball players? I mean, really, like it's a dream that every kid has, but could you have ever foreseen it really coming to fruition like that?
No, honestly, no. And the crazy part about it is, I mean, our spring training facilities are literally less than 10 minutes next to each other. So it's like it's already crazy that we're playing professional baseball. It's something we've always talked about and dreamed of growing up and worked for. But the fact that it's actually true, and he's on the West Coast, and I'm down in Florida, and I'm staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning just trying to watch his games. It all of it still doesn't seem real. It's hard to believe still.
Well, it's very real, Jack, because we can do a little Google search of you guys, and you got stats and all kinds of shit in there, man. But my biggest question to you is, how do you balance all the time? You're traveling, you're playing pro baseball, you're a dad, you got a fiance, you're having to look after your boy Chad. Like how do you do it all, man?
Uh, it having my fiance, she takes care of my daughter. Like she stayed back while I went to Florida, and the support system, her family, my sister, her brother, like just our friends, the people who have just gathered around us to help us make all this possible and a little bit easier for the both of us. I don't want to take a lot of credit, because I'm out there playing baseball, and I'm trying to do my best. A lot of late night FaceTimes, talking to Drew, watching her grow up over the phone is tough, but hopefully at the end of the day, I'm going to make it all worth it.
You seen the movie The Rookie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though you're not an old man, but I could picture like, out there changing diapers and then going out there and throwing some pitches.
Oh yeah.
Cheese, man, I got to go back to you, man. I got to go back. So we talked about it. You're playing for the Vancouver Canadians. Not very, creative name, I got to tell you. But talk to me about what's going well, maybe what's not going well. We see what's going well. The stash is going well. The hair's going well. The sleeves are going really well.
Well, like you said, all that's going well, but as of right now, I ended on a good note. So just kind of looking forward to the things that I got ahead of me. I got to go back to Florida here in a couple weeks for camp. But some things that didn't go too well was, I had a little bit of struggle this at the first half of the season, which looking back at it, I like it because it's early in my career and now I can look back at that time, when failure comes back into the career. But it was just a lot of not doubt at first, but just a lot of I was giving the other team way too much credit, just thinking of them as these top dog professional hitters, which they are. I won't you can't take credit away from them, but you can't give them too much credit. And then after a couple outings of not the best performances, just kind of my mental game was messed up for a little bit. And like Jack said earlier, our support system is very big and very it's a key role in our career, and it helps a ton. But I was in a tough spot for a little bit. But I got out of that, started to kind of get back to my old ways, and ended up on a good note towards the end of the year, which made me very happy and excited for what else is to come. And then some more good news is now I get two of my siblings' weddings coming up in the off season, and I don't think anybody hates a good wedding reception. So
Like, okay, I gotta ask you, man. We still gonna have this? Is the stash still gonna be there, just like it is right now for the wedding photos?
yeah, siblings can't. No, they can't change this.
Ah, I love it.
If you wear sleeves to this wedding, I don't even know.
I
you.
don't even know you.
I'll wear
Jack's wife might have a say in that.
sleeves to the
Hey,
wedding.
the wedding's in Vegas, so you never know.
Oh, it's in Vegas.
Oh
Yeah.
man, what happens there?
That's right.
I'm
I
waiting
gotta
on
be
my.
honest.
I need my invite now. I'm like, what's up? I'm trying to come check this thing out.
No doubt. So cheese. I understand
Got a
this right.
visitor.
Oh,
Look
there it
at-
There
is.
she is.
Can you say hello?
Hey,
Hey,
that's perfect. This is the first time on the show. My
Yeah.
3-year-old tried to come in earlier and I kicked him right in the face. I was like, fuck out of here, But no, you don't do it to him yet. They're still cute then. And plus, he'll be 4 in a week. I figured he's good for a good face.
If she repeats the F bomb, Randy, you're in trouble, bro.
Oh,
It-
apologize.
She's heard way worse. It's okay.
Yeah,
Right,
look,
tell
I
him
think my kid's
bye-bye.
trying to come back in. Y'all might see me drop kick him again. But look, Cheese, back to you, man. You don't leave Canada. All the games in Canada.
No, so we are the only minor league team in Canada. So we play. We had a 6-team league, which is very small for minor leagues, and we played. I think it was 3 teams in Oregon, 2 in Washington, and we had, I think, one time throughout the year that we had a 2-week homestand, and then one time throughout the year that we had a 2-week away stand. So every single week going back and forth across the border, which got pretty old, but like I said, that part of the country is beautiful. So you got to see a lot of that. But yeah, a lot of travel up there.
No, absolutely. So you mentioned something earlier. It took you a while to kind of get into your groove and not giving them the credit. Do you think that not having the goggles affected you? Not having your, I'm just wondering. I see the stats, but I didn't see the goggles. I saw you with no goggles, and it really threw me for a loop. So talk to me about that, man. Did you have to wear them again to get back in the groove of things?
Yeah, no, I didn't. But
Well, that's what took you so long.
that thought did cross my mind, and that's just where I was mentally, kind of not trying to find excuses, but trying to find something that, like, maybe to take some of the blame off or something, trying to figure something out, I guess. But so I didn't put the glasses back on, but I would go back and watch games from college, because, like I said, at one point, baseball in the season, it was a couple weeks, if that, but I really wasn't enjoying it, and I've never had that experience, so it really sucked. And so I went back and watched some of the happiest baseball moments of my life, which was at Tennessee this far in my career, and it just it brought back memories and a lot of joy just to watch, and getting to watch the Tennessee guys this past season. That made it even better, being so close with those guys and watching them succeed. And then getting to watch my brother obviously finish his season, and then towards the end of the year, getting to listen to him while he started his pro career was really awesome as well.
So let me ask you, you talking about your brothers from Tennessee and everything. What's it like not having Pavloni behind the dish, man? I bet that was an adjustment within itself, right?
Yeah, it was weird, especially because of how close me and Pav were, and me and my catchers with the Canadians, we were close as well. But when you live with somebody and you never not see that human, it's almost a weird bond how close you are, and it's like a true brotherhood. And so it was weird, but it was the same thing with everybody behind me. I was close with everybody and still am close with all the guys on the Canadians. But like you said, it took a little while to not see that same robot back there, is known as Connor Pavloni.
The governor.
Well, we gotta ask you. Evans became a staple of this show. He comes on just as much as you do. Being that I assume you got to watch a bunch. I mean, how impressed were you that he was able to take on that role as catcher? And then when you look at the filthy arms that were at Tennessee to be able to catch those guys, like how impressive was that?
Man, I tip my cap to that guy, and I'm only going to say it once so he doesn't, his head doesn't blow up. And he's actually blowing my phone up in our fantasy league chat right now, so I'll have to get him to listen to this. But no, that was stupid impressive. And not only does it show, the kind of person he is, but also the kind of hard worker he is, for the coaches to trust him and put him in that position. And then on another note, with those pitchers that they had this year, because you see him catching the sliders and stuff, and you're like, first year guy doing this. Well, the fastballs are just as impressive, because those, I'm glad I wasn't at Tennessee, because I couldn't throw near as hard as those guys. So it was.
We asked him about it.
It was impressive to watch him take that role on and then thrive in that role, which was really cool.
Yeah, the respect factor, Randy, remember, it goes to Chase Burns, because he talked about all the pitchers and he said Chase Burns was the guy that he lost sleep the night before when he had to catch for.
And he talked about it too, Cheese. He said that, obviously Ben Joyce throws 103. Everybody sees that, the fireman, and then you got those other guys. But he said Chase Burns had so much movement. And then he also said that Chase might throw a 4-seam, but it comes across as like a 2-seam. So he's got to be ready. Because I asked him one of the questions, and I even put it on TikTok. It got like 35,000 views, and it was just a straight up, is it harder to catch 103, or is it harder to catch, something moving? And he said, look, 103, it's crazy fast and you can't miss. He goes, but catching that movement, he goes, it's something different. And he was able to do that. A lot of people said a lot of things about, they let people steal on him, but, and I'm not talking bad about pitchers here, but to me, it seemed like the approach to the pitch was a lot of the reason. They were getting a jump before the ball even left their hand.
Oh,
I don't think that was all on Evan myself.
No, not at all. And I mean, I don't think, the time that I was there, I don't even know if our pitching staff while I was there was the best at holding on runners. And I'm sure old Connor Pavloni would agree with that statement. But, I can say I tried my best. I can't speak for everybody, but I'm sure they did. But yeah, no, Evan did well.
Well, before this episode started, we were talking about how you didn't get to go to game day, and, to kind of tie Tennessee baseball, football. What was it like for you, man, seeing the Tennessee baseball guys? They're holding the sign up of Tony V. And then of course, Tony V's coming on game day. And like, he's now, man, just this legendary status, and you're seeing your teammates, and like Tennessee baseball, it's college game day for Tennessee football, but Tennessee baseball is making its like, stamp on it. And you were a part of that building process of getting that team in that program where it is. So how cool is it just to see those guys, getting their shine, even when it comes to football?
Yeah, no, I love it. And I think they deserve it all. And it's something that, if you're a young player and you want to take that chance, you should, because that staff is going to turn you into a very good young man and a hell of a ball player. And it's just the kind of people that they are, and how hard they work. And then the brotherhood through the team. And shout out to Quentin Everhart, my dog Q. The strength coach is back with the staff. That's one of the biggest behind the scenes, for the most part, person on that staff. And he gets a lot of credit, but he deserves more with, what he's done, and especially what he did with helping me get to where I'm at. And yeah, those guys deserve everything. And I don't know if Tony V thinks it or not, but coming from me, Tony Vitello runs Knoxville.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Randy won't disagree with you at all.
Yeah,
And
that's his city.
look, all I know is he came on here. Look, well, he sent me a message, Cheese, and he said, "You got 30 minutes, period." He said, "I'm carving out 30 minutes for you." And surprisingly, it went like 38. And he even told us he would have kept going, because I don't think he actually believed that we weren't going to like ask him all the controversial stuff, and we were just going to get to know him. And so you find out, man, that the guy is like, obviously he's got all the stuff that you see on TV, but man, he's just a legit good dude, and the way he cares about y'all. And so, but with all this, man, I got to ask you, how are you going to recover Saturday after Tennessee loses to LSU? You going to be okay?
Oh Lord,
Hey.
he's finally bought in. It finally clicked in him that he thinks that LSU has a chance.
Hey,
He was almost ready before the show started to go there, and now he's all of a sudden just ready to go there.
Yeah, no, the boys in orange are going to be just fine. The purple and gold, I don't know about them, but the boys in orange and white. Oh, my bad. Gray and white, since we're pulling out the
Smoky.
And I'm a
boys
little
think they
offended
know
that
it.
y'all going to bring those to us. Like, y'all couldn't save those for Bama. I mean, y'all going to come at us like that. That's harsh, man. Those things
Well,
are badass.
I mean, it's a gimmick game. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, according to Twitter, we know what LSU's wearing.
Oh, yeah. Tennessee to the, yeah. We're moving on past that.
That's a cute leotard you got on, Jimmy.
Tennessee Twitter is something, man. And Randy told me to leave them alone, but I can't help.
They don't miss.
But I'm feeling better, Cheese. I think what happened was when I found out that they were going to be having their fall classic for baseball this upcoming weekend too, I started, getting all hyped about baseball, and then it carried into football. And now I got this belief that now, like, LSU's going to win the College World Series. LSU's going to beat Tennessee. It's all happening. But we'll be here arguing about that forever. But I do want to ask you something before we turn it back over to Jack. They changed the schedule for this upcoming season, and me and Randy talked to you guys back when we had y'all originally on, talking about playing Arkansas, and kind of that rivalry that y'all had kind of built and how intense that series was. But with that, there is a lot of hype being put on Tennessee and LSU as the preseason number 1, number 2, and the favorites. So which series as a fan now would you look forward to watching more, when Tennessee goes to Alex Box in Baton Rouge, or when they go to Baum Walker in Fayetteville?
Oh man, I never got to play it either of those schools, which I'm very sad about, because I've been to a LSU game when I was younger as to watch. I think it was them versus Ole Miss. I know how that atmosphere is, and I've heard plenty of stories about Arkansas's stadium and their fan base, especially in that stadium. I've seen their fan base, especially in Hoover, but in Arkansas, they say it's just a different breed. But yeah, I think I take the Tennessee LSU, just because like with their team that LSU is going to have this year. They're not going to be a team that rolls over for literally anybody in the country. They got some big names on that roster. But I take them boys in orange against anybody. But that series will be probably the most watched or most hyped, most looked into series of the season next year. And it's going to be shown, they'll show why it's like that, because those games are going to be dogfights every single night.
Yeah, I mean, because on paper, we know Tennessee's got well, it's not even just on paper, but when you're looking at going into the season on paper, Tennessee's got the best pitching staff. If you now look at what LSU's brought in with the bats, you can argue they have the best bat lineup. And we're going to find out what's going to win, the pitching or the hitting.
Oh yeah, LSU's got some catching up to do in the past 2 years as well. So
Don't they? Last
So,
time we saw LSU in Knoxville, though, sent
yeah,
them home crying, didn't we, Cheese?
That was the other thing that Vol Twitter hit me with. That Paul Maneri crying photo, they hit me with that about 3 or 4 different damn times.
that was a good one. That's a good picture.
Well, Jack, we mentioned it earlier about, if you do a quick little Google search, if you go to MILB, you got some stats in there, bro. And I must say, man, you got some nice little stats. 7 innings to work, 10 Ks, 0.00 ERA, man. What team are you pitching for, and like, what do you contribute to getting off to such a nice start? How does that feel? But what is the biggest contribution that you've put in to get you there?
Yeah, so I went and played the last 5 weeks with the Low A organization, which is down in Clearwater. Honestly, my numbers don't. The numbers look really, really good, but it was shaky when I first went out there. And I called my pitching coach after my first outing, and when I was in not my first couple years of college, but my last couple years of college, when I'd go out there to close a game down, or whenever I was brought in, it really wasn't nerves I was feeling. I was excited, and I'm sure there was some nerves, but it was really easy to like block it off and not hide it away, but not really worry about it. I was confident in my ability, and so I think the main thing that I can contribute or attribute my success to would be the realizing that I belong there. And it took me a couple appearances to kind of realize, like, I'm here for a reason. If I wasn't good enough to be here, they probably wouldn't have brought me out here. So, once I finally realized that, it got very easy again, and I got really comfortable again, and that was huge. Is just getting comfortable and getting that confidence back.
So obviously, you're in Clearwater, and there's a time, I guess, when Chad is over in Dunedin, which, I mean, it's a stone's throw away from each other. But what's it like being reunited with him? But also, it seems as though you guys had to have the same revelation that, you actually belong there. You're just as good, if not better, than the guys that you're facing every day.
Uh, you know, I can't really speak for Chad, but even in those first couple outings when I did, give or take struggle, it was just the same thing as him, and I would tell him that all the time, and yet, when I would go out there, I would almost be doing the same thing as him. I'd be giving these hitters too much credit, or I wouldn't believe myself. And so once I realized, like, man, even when you're struggling, you're going out there and throwing up zeros. And I was getting my fair share of punch outs too. It's like, if I just go out and do this earlier in the count or without putting guys on base, then my numbers will look even better. And so it was just really, realizing that I'm the same guy that I was in, college, and these are a bunch of the same guys that are about the same age as me. So it's just realizing that I'm the same guy that I was in college. So just go out there and do the same thing you're doing in college.
Yeah, so Jack, I ain't got a chance to speak to you, brother, man. Old daddy over here. So I want to talk to you guys, both of you. I'm gonna ask you both a couple questions, man. I want to talk about some major league. As pitchers, I know you might, not think either one's cool, but what's more impressive to you? Pujols 700 plus now. I think we're 703, maybe 704. I don't even know. Or Aaron Judge's 62. And I'm gonna tell you before you answer, if they break into my football game anymore to show me Aaron Judge.
Yeah, that was some BS.
Yeah. So what's more impressive to you, Jack?
Albert Pujols. It's not even close. In my opinion, it's not even close.
I completely agree.
What Judge did is obviously incredible, but I mean, there's still guys who, in a season hit more home runs than him, which doesn't mean he's not high up in the, home runs in a season. But I don't know the exact number of guys that have hit 700 home runs, but it's pretty freaking low. I know
pretty
that.
freaking low. You can count them on like a couple fingers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So
Yes.
I would say Pujols.
Cheese, what about you?
Same. The like Jack said, like what Judge has done this season is stupid impressive. I'm on the Bonds train, but what he did this season is still stupid impressive. But what Pujols has done throughout his whole career, and take away every other stat but home runs away, hitting that many home runs in a lifetime is hard.
Yeah,
And
and all the RBIs, the average. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean,
man.
since he's on the Bonds train, and Jack's been talking about how small Chad's arms are, maybe he should hit the juice. Maybe he should hit the juice like Bonds. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm also Team Bonds, by the way. Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, put him in the Hall of Fame. All those guys. When I heard, and you guys don't have to offer this opinion up either, but when Roger Maris Jr. goes out and says that's the real home run champ, no, he's not. We saw it. We saw McGuire. We saw Sosa. We saw Bonds. Now, what we did see is that when McGuire and Sosa broke that home run record in the season, Barry Bonds was probably clean at the time, and then he thought, like, the fuck?
Yeah,
that's how we're doing this.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and hit 73 of them.
I'm putting up these numbers natural. I might as well get on the sauce with everybody else.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little playoffs. Organizations you guys are a part of, and I want to start with the Blue Jays versus the Mariners. First of all, Mariners ending a drought. Blue Jays kind of ending a drought. But if you gotta look, you don't gotta pick your own team just because you're on it, man. Who's coming out of that one?
I think, man, the Mariners have last year's Cy Young winner Robbie Ray from the Blue Jays, but the Blue Jays team is just, oh man, hold on now, because J-Rod's electric too. I think I'm still gonna go with the Jays just because I think the Jays, with their lineup, like with their team on paper, when they play how they can play, I think they're a top team. But it's baseball is baseball. So, shit can always go and hit the fan, but I think I'm going to take the Jays. I got the faith in the boys right now.
That's true. Okay. Well, look, we're all Cardinals as the host here. We're Cardinals fans, but we got Phillies, Cardinals. So be easy on us, man. Who we taking in that series? And tell me why.
I mean, it is Red October. It is Red October is in full effect. If we can get a good game one start, that's what we're gonna need. We're gonna if we don't take game one, we're in a lot of trouble. But the lineup has just been kind of give or take this year. So if the lineup comes out hot, and that's just kind of been the story I feel like for the Phillies all season, is kind of hit or miss all year. So depends on what Phillies you get, but the Cardinals are a great team, and that lineup they have is just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm gonna say the Phillies if they can take game one. If not, the Cardinals will probably get it. I think game one decides the series.
I agree. So I kind of went back and forth on this today. Obviously, you guys are pitchers, right? And obviously in St. Louis, you got a guy that's been on the bump since like before y'all were born. He's been there like forever.
He's been there forever.
He's not the ace as far as when you write him out on the lineup. But if you got to go one game, you going Waino over Michaelis? I am.
Oh yeah. He's gonna go out there and perform every time. I like Wainwright. I like him
too,
a lot.
That guy's and he's a bulldog, man. That guy he can't throw it 100 and he's not doing all that, but he just gets swings and misses, man.
He's just the a pitcher in like the true sense of the word. He knows how to pitch.
Old school. So all right, Jack, start with you. You got to pick a team that's gonna win it all. Obviously, we're gonna say the Phillies if they win game one, but anybody beating the Dodgers, man?
I actually, if I had to, I would say that I think the Mets are going to surprise a lot of people. I think they're going to show up.
They couldn't even beat the Braves, Jack.
I think they're going to show up.
I've been saying that all year long, and I actually think that the best thing now is that they got a little disappointment. Yeah. Because if you give me those two dudes as my first starters, lock the door, son.
Jack, I actually can't wait till we get to the second segment when y'all aren't here because Randy picked the Mets to win that division and I picked the Braves and I'm letting him have it.
I did. Man. And for some reason, Jim's like a Braves fan now because we had Austin Riley on, and I stay true. I'm not a Braves fan. I hate the Braves. I ain't rooting for the Braves.
I'm a Cardinals fan, but I mean, how do we not root for a two-time guest and he's on our league?
I root for him. I don't root for his team. I don't root for his team. I root for him to do well.
But I tried to ship him to the Yankees a long time ago.
Hey, I ain't gonna tell you what Austin Riley said when he came on the show or nothing, but we don't know that.
No, true story. It's true story. Cheese and Jack, man. Look, Daniel goes, Braves ain't never gonna pay him. He's gonna end up the Yankees. Here we are as a man signed that contract. Of course, you know, it was a generous contract, as Randy said. Randy said, I'd have never took this shit.
Yeah.
No, he should have got a lot more. But listen, Cheese, who you got winning it all, man? It can be either national AL. Give us who you got is winning it. Who's crowning?
Oh man, the Dodgers, and I probably don't watch as much baseball as anybody on the podcast right now, but you know, my ADHD will kick in, and you know, I got to go find something other to do than watch a TV. But I don't know. When you look on paper, I don't get how the Dodgers have lost the game other than just saying, "Oh, baseball is baseball." That team is just it's
Stacked.
it's so stacked, and it's almost like a video game of how stacked they are. So I don't know. I hope it's an exciting playoffs, and you know, I like a good underdog story. So I don't know who's barely going to slip in, but whoever barely slips in, I hope it's them.
That probably fits around with Jack's team. Jack's
The Phillies.
This is true.
But hey,
True.
so Chad, if you know you got to stay on the move and you're not watching baseball, what you been doing working on that jumper that I heard was good but not so good?
I worked on it in Vancouver a little bit, and I got some teammates that you know, if y'all ever get them on, they can tell you that this is true. If you just got to give me 30 minutes of pure shooting. Give me 30. Now that the full 30 minutes is going to be ass. It's going to be garbage. You know, it probably take me 10 minutes before I hit the rim, but after that 30-minute mark,
Wet.
wet like water. It's there's no stopping it.
Daniel, if he's your teammate, can you wait 30 minutes or is it can't get there?
I'll show up 30 minutes early. It's all good.
That's the right answer right there, honestly. Well, guys, man, before we let you run, you know how we do it. We got to play this or that. We got a brand new set of questions for you guys to make it easy. Obviously, I'll address Jack first, and then Chad, you can follow up with your answer. But we don't need the rules. You know, you got to be decisive and you got to pick one. So, out the gate first, would you rather have ribs or would you rather have wings? Jack, lead us off, man.
Are the wings buffalo?
Wings or whatever wings you want them to be.
Wings. No doubt.
Wings. Chad, what you got?
Wings. Now, shit. I do like some ribs, but damn, man, you give me a good plate of wings. I'm the bone
Making
might
the bones drop.
Is there a place back home where you are from where the wings are just popping?
wing junkies. You know, I ain't got no sponsorships or anything, but junkies local.
Not
Fire.
opposed to it though. If they want to throw one out.
That's right.
Never opposed to it, but yeah, wing junkies is fire.
Nice, nice. Jack, would you rather go to the beach or the lake?
After being in Florida, I used to always say I was kind of a lake guy, but the beaches down in Florida, I think that made it change my mind. I like going to the beach.
Hey,
I think I'm a beach guy.
Clearwater Beach ain't no joke, man. That's one of the best
Yeah.
beaches in the world, man.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yep. Chad, what are you taking?
Give me the lake all day. I don't mind going to the beach, but when you leave, you're all sandy. I can't stand the sand being on me, sticking to me. So give me the lake all day. You know, the salt water makes your skin feel sticky. You get out of the lake, you kind of feel smooth a little bit. Give me the lake every day of the week.
I feel like Chad would go into a lake, submerge himself, and come back out with that mustache. That's what the
Glistening.
lake does. Yeah, that's what the
Mhm.
lake does for you. All right. Would you rather play wiffle ball or dodgeball?
Wiffle ball. Me and Cheese, me and all our buddies, like in the neighborhood, we used to have a tournament every summer for wiffle ball. So wiffle ball for sure. We had a dope field, set up fences and everything.
I don't know if it could compete with Daniel's. Daniel mowed the grass and cut the diamond out in the backyard. It was legit.
Oh
Man,
man.
We had some big time games
But the reason
Yeah.
why I put that question on there is I've seen some highlight videos of these baseball players playing dodgeball, and with especially you pitchers and the way y'all throw, man, that shit's coming in hot. I ain't playing with y'all.
Yeah, I've played with some guys. I know I'm not playing dodgeball with them for sure.
Chad, what are you playing? Wiffle ball or dodgeball?
I got wiffle ball. I got wiffle ball because, like Jack said, we had our tournament all growing up. Man, we used to have. I think our biggest year was close to around, probably anywhere from 35, 45 teams. Like we had, guys that we've played baseball with all growing up, from little league to everything, making a team from Houston, from teams to Louisiana. Always had the local news come out, put us on TV for it. So I love me some wiffle ball.
Nice.
Good drinking sport too.
Oh yeah. Would you rather be feared or would you rather be loved?
Ooh, okay, that's a good one. I want to be feared. Yeah, I want to be feared. That's kind of
As a pitcher, was there any other answer?
Especially out of the
I was about to
bullpen.
say I don't think I really had a choice there. As a reliever, especially, I want to be feared.
Well, he could have looked at it from the dad perspective, Could have
Yeah,
a little bit.
that's a good point. Now I'm be in trouble with my daughter. She
No,
won't hear
fuck
this
them.
shit,
You
Mom.
want them to fear you too. Trust me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, what you got? Feared or loved?
Oh man, I almost want to split it up, but baseball is definitely feared. But outside of baseball, and especially with my little niece Drew, I'm trying to be loved. I don't need anybody to fear me while I'm off the field or anything. But since I got to split that one up. But I would say probably even loved overall. That's just kind of how I am. So they ain't got to fear me. They gonna respect me either way.
There you go. Would you rather live in a big city or a small town?
Big city. I like living in the city. I like going out, downtown, going and doing stuff, having stuff to do. I don't think I'm very good for the small city
Yeah.
living.
Chad, what you taking?
Take the small town. I think it might be a little past. I don't like clubs. I don't like people being all up touching me on accident and stuff. I'd rather, I'd sit down at a bar. I'm fine with that, watching some games or something. Now,
Who's the dad here?
That's what I'm saying. He's 22 years old.
I mean, I'm 100% with you, Cheese. I don't want to do all that people-y stuff either, but I'm just curious, man.
I like conversating. So in a club, you can't do that. You go sit down at a bar, at a sports bar, you can talk, but at a club, you can't even hear yourself thinking. That stuff gets to me sometimes. But so I think a small town now. And we talking baseball, I'll take the big city because that's where the money's coming in. So that's my answer though. Small town.
Look, let me tell you something, Chad. I took Dylan DeLucia, Josh Hatcher, and Dylan Ross to an event. They had me bring some athletes, and they wanted to go out, and it was for a whole weekend thing. And let me tell you, I hit the club back-to-back nights with 21, 22-year-olds, bro. And I slept for like 3 hours between the two nights. I sent these boys a picture of me. Man, they'll verify. My eyes were red. I was like, dude, I'm way too old for this.
I did that last weekend, and I put money on it that I was probably the same way.
Hey man, lack of sleep is underrated, like bad time feeling.
Horrible
But it's not
time.
even just lack of sleep, because I'm responsible for these three guys, right? Like, so I got to make sure they don't get in trouble, go to jail. They're all fixing to get drafted, which they did. Like, I got to keep them out of trouble. So I'm babysitting and drinking. I'm out late. I ain't slept. It was tough.
And when Jim is the responsible one of the four,
That's the problem.
that's the problem.
That's the only reason I have my phone on, just in case.
Jim would be the one that got arrested. Then we got
He-
Dylan DeLucia calling us, "Hey guys,
He's got to tell Michelle, hey, I'm heading up to Atlanta. I got to bail Jim out of jail.
I would MF you all the way home too. All right, guys, would you rather go to a concert or a sporting event?
And it can be any concert or any sporting
Yeah.
event.
Okay. I'm gonna go sporting event and specifically a UFC event. I've never been, but I've heard those are the best sporting events ever put on.
A new event. You are the first.
All right, UFC. Chad, what do you take? Concert or sporting event?
I was thinking concert until he threw out the UFC. Man. But I'm gonna take concert. I got enough sports in my life right now, but I'm gonna hold
Why
the-
is it Leonard Skinner?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off the UFC, but I went to Chris Stapleton concert last
Oh,
off
that's
season,
good.
and that's probably the best concert I'll ever go to, and I'm trying to go again sometime soon. So I'm gonna take concert and that / UFC event, something like that.
Jack, who are you trying to see if you can go see one fighter?
I would go see.
Patty the
Yeah.
Batty.
Yeah,
Is that just
Patty.
because Tony V referenced them on College Game Day,
No,
Chad?
hey, I'll go Sugar Show. I'll go Sugar Show too. Those guys are excited.
Look,
Patty-
that was another shout out to your coach. That man came out there and said they were gonna whoop him like Patty the Batty. I was like, no, he didn't.
Patty's hot right now. Patty's hot.
Daniel.
So
He's this is a hesitation, but this next question
No,
is
he froze. That's what
it's,
happened.
it's tense. This one's gonna be tense.
yeah, I hope that my internet is now stable because it was not stable for a second. But here's the deal, guys. I don't even want to say this question, but I have to. Who is the better pitcher? Not right now, not going to be, not projected, not hearsay. I need to know from your point of view overall, who's the best pitcher? Jack or Chad Dallas?
Jack or Chad Dallas? I think. I think it's Jack Dallas. I think so. I think the bulldog mentality that I have and the confidence I bring, I just don't know if Cheese can match it sometimes.
Well, he did say he just wants people to love him. So this answer, he might go with you. Chad, who you going with? Who's better?
I ain't going with his ass. It's me. But I'm gonna give a shout out. I'm gonna mix up the question a little bit. Say it's Tony Dallas or Pops back in his heyday. We've heard some stories.
That's fair.
I don't know
That's
if I don't know if we can keep up with his stories. So
I mean,
I'll
y'all had to have gotten it somewhere, so I'm gonna believe these stories. You know?
Yeah,
it-
I mean,
respectfully, it wasn't Mama. It was Tony D.
No
Stories
doubt.
always get better because I can tell you right now, we talk about like wiffle ball games, Matt. I crank it 450 dead center every time.
Over the tree. I mean,
Well, Daniel, I felt good about our wiffle ball story until they started talking about how many teams they had in the league. And then I was like, okay, we didn't have it going like that.
quality over quantity.
Hey, there you go.
Oh,
There you go.
I mean, we were playing for blood. So, but guys, man, it's been a blast. Before you guys leave us, Jack, anything you want to plug or promote?
Just want to give a shout out to my daughter and my fiance. Shout out to TD, my mom, all my family members, my fiance's family members, and shout out Lamar University baseball, baby.
hey, yeah. By the way, man, congratulations on setting the saves record. We didn't even talk about that.
Oh, it's no big deal, man. I appreciate it.
What a humble answer. Yeah, that's a fucking big deal, Jack. Anytime you set a record, it's a big deal. So,
Appreciate it.
but man, awesome job, dude. Chad, anything you want to plug or promote?
He just about got it all, but throw in, my girlfriend and her family. Jack already named our family. Throw in Leanne and Brody, and I didn't really mention them this podcast, so I'll shout out Coach Frank Anderson, pitching coach, helped me a lot on the journey, and
Legend.
the GOAT, man, the GOAT. But yeah, we thank y'all for having us on again. It's always a pleasure and can't wait to be on again.
No doubt. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you guys.
Yeah, man. If y'all want to see more about the life of Jack Dallas, if you want to see what it's like being a dad, what it's like being a baseball player, you know, fiance, getting ready to go to Vegas, get married, do the whole thing, you can check him out on Instagram at JDallas112. Or if you want to see Chad in that cut off denim button down, head on over to Instagram at Chad Dallas _ gentlemen. We love you guys. It's always a blast. We wish you the best of luck. We're definitely going to have you on once again once you guys get going. And hey, if you need anything, you know, always reach out to us.
Of course,
Yes, sir.
appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. That is Jack and Chad Dallas. Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we got to talk MLB. We got to talk Aaron Judge. We got to talk playoffs. We got to talk NCAA football, NFL football. We got to talk it all. There's a lot.